Hi, I'm Grant Moon. In the next video, in the Back to Basics series, I'm going to be doing two useful modifications for the guy working out of his truck every day or preparing for certification. These will be a rolled and a rocketed tow, so many horses will benefit from either of these in front. I'm going to start with a Delta Challenger TS8, number 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize where my roll toe starts and where it's going to finish. So it can start at the second nail hole, go around the toe to the second nail hole, or it can be just from the first nail hole to the first nail hole. But it's our choice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by forging it from the second nail hole right around the toe to the second nail hole, thinning the outside edge of the shoe down to about half thickness. Once I've done it down to about half thickness, then I can finish it with grinding. Getting a good posture at the anvil is very important, having the shoe where it makes the job easy to do. So I put the shoe in line with my body, and I can forge, and just by moving the shoe a minimum amount on the anvil, I can work the outside edge right round from second nail hole round to second nail hole. Graduate in at the second nail hole, hitting into the corner of the shoe. I'm holding my hammer about 45 degrees, hitting the outside edge. I'm not trying to stretch the shoe. So my hammer's at 45 degrees. I've gone one way. Now I'm going to go back around it a second time. Try not to leave too many hammer marks. Once I've rolled the outside edge, I can flatten the shoe. If I need to shape it, I can come back. A little gap under the toe, radius the toe up a little bit, and turn the heels in. Always making sure I have good tongue position. Once we've got our roll toe on, now we can fit the shoe, and then we'll finish it off with the grinder when we box the heels. So what we're going to do, we're going to blend in from the second nail hole, more and more and more until we get to the center of the toe. Once we get to the center of the toe, we're going to blend out back to the second nail hole. Once we've rolled the toe, then we'll go and do the heels. We might want to add a little bit of heel check and box the outside edge. So this is our Delta Challenger TS8 now. It's got a roll toe, and we've rolled the toe from the second nail hole around to the second nail hole. We finished it off with the linisher. We put a little bit of heel check in. We boxed the heels off. Remembering there's a big difference between a rolled and a rocketed toe. A rolled toe is where the edge of the shoe is radiused, but the hoof surface is flat. This allows us to use the roll in two ways. We can either fit it to the perimeter of the foot and it'll ease break over, or we can set it back behind the edge of the hoof wall to ease break over that way also. So if we set it back, we decrease the amount of surface area in front of the widest point of the foot, which will then ease break over. Now I'm taking a Delta Challenger TS8 size 1, and I'm going to make a rocketed toe. Now a rocketed toe is on the hoof surface and the ground surface. So both have got to function correctly. So we want to ease the edge of the shoe on the ground surface. But on the hoof surface, we don't want a rocker into the sole. So what we've got to do is we've got to visualize where the white line is, and then put a rocker that's straight in line with that. So it's thinking about how we're going to position that line on the anvil. If we slide it too far, we're going to rocker right in to the solar surface of the shoe, and we don't want to do that. What I do, I visualize the thickness of the hoof wall. I put that line in line with the edge of the anvil. Now, I start away from me, and I think about forging the edge down. And simultaneously, as I'm forging the edge down, I'm dropping my tongs. I'm dropping my tongs so my rocker ends up flat, but it's perpendicular with the end of the hoof wall. Line up my nail holes, set it back the thickness of the hoof wall. Forging it equally. Once we've got it about perpendicular to the end of the hoof wall, we'll turn it over. Flatten the branches. Now I'll put it over the edge. In line with the thickness of the hoof wall, I'll flatten the inner web. Go back. Now level the shoe from one heel around to the toe, from the toe to the heel. Check the level. So our rocker doesn't extend into the sole. I've got flat shoe with the edge rockered. So this has to be fitted to the perimeter of the toe. The rocker comes back midway in the web on the ground surface. And the rocker itself is bent up, so the end of the rocker is about perpendicular with the end of the horn tubules. Now we're going to just finish it off with the linisher, heel check the heels, and box it off a little bit. So this is our Delta Challenger TS8 now. It's got a rockered toe. Now a rockered toe, it eases the brake over on the ground side, but to help the brake over more, it also is bent up onto the hoof surface. So we can see this shoe's bent up at the toe. So there's going to have to be an area relieved when the foot is trimmed so that this will fit onto the hoof flat. This rockered toe basically fits perpendicular to the ends of the horn tubules.